Donald Trump has now officially signed the Republican loyalty pledge that he will not run as a third-party candidate in the event he does not get the Republican nomination. Now, here's his speech.
The chairman just left, as you probably know, and he's been extremely fair. The RNC has been absolutely terrific over the last 2-month period. And as you know, that's what I've wanted. I've wanted fairness. I don't have to be treated any differently than anybody else. I just wanted fairness from the Republican Party. We're leading in every single poll. A new poll came out today where we're over 30%. We've actually hit numbers as high as 35 and 40%. And frankly, I felt that the absolute best way to win and to beat the Democrats, and very easily, I think, beat the Democrats, no matter who it may be, whether it's Hillary or anybody else. And I think maybe Hillary's going to have a very hard time, frankly, with what's happening, getting to the starting gate. The best way for the Republicans to win is if I win the nomination and go directly against whoever they happen to put up. And for that reason, I have signed the pledge. Yeah. So I will be totally pledging my allegiance to the Republican Party and the conservative principles for which it stands, and we will go out and we will fight hard and we will win. We will win. And most importantly, we will make our country great again, because that's what it's all about. We have to make our country great again.
So now I should note that this isn't actually a legal pledge, but it's still relatively significant. So why is he doing this? If you're a Donald Trump supporter, you're probably questioning why this is the case. Well, the Republican Party, they weren't very kind to him initially, because he came out and, in effect, monopolized conservative talking points and their message overall, and started espousing anti-Mexican and anti-immigrant rhetoric. So the Republican establishment was like, whoa, put the brakes on there, buddy. You don't speak for all of us. And they kind of told their base that he does not represent us. But as they said this, he continued to rise and rise and rise in the polls. And now Trump didn't like the fact that even though he was rising in the polls, he didn't like the fact that the Republican Party didn't take him seriously and didn't want to get behind him. So he threatened to run as a third-party candidate, and what that did was it gave him leverage, so that way they would have to respect him. So it worked. Now, if he were to run as a third-party candidate, it would virtually guarantee that a Republican would not get in the White House in 2016. So what he did was hold the entire party hostage by threatening to run as a third-party candidate. So why would Trump sign this pledge when arguably, as an anti-establishment candidate, he needed that leverage? Well, I think it's because he actually thinks he's going to win. I don't believe that they bought off Donald Trump. I don't think that's possible. He can buy off the entire Republican Party if he wanted to, and he's bankrolling his own presidential campaign. So I really think it's just the case that he really thinks that he can win. And he's not dumb to think that, because if you look at the polls, out of 17 GOP candidates, no matter how you slice it, he is dominating every single poll. If you're polling over 30% in a field with 17 candidates, you're doing very, very well. So now, whether or not Donald Trump will actually win the Republican nomination, I have no idea. But if Republicans want a shot at actually winning the White House in 2016, they probably should not want Trump to get the Republican nominee, because his favorability among Hispanics is at negative 51%. Now, this is unsurprising due to his rhetoric, but you can't win the White House if you don't at least get some support from Hispanics. You just can't. And this is true for both Republicans and Democrats. This isn't my opinion. This is a fact. So the Republican Party, they're not stupid. They know this, which is why they wanted him to sign the Republican pledge in the first place. Because if he signs the pledge, now they don't have to worry about him getting mad and running as a third-party candidate. They can outright condemn him and do some shady things against Donald Trump. So if you're a Trump supporter, you shouldn't be surprised if the RNC pulls out some tricks to try to stifle Donald Trump's campaign, because as we've seen with the DNC, they're trying to preserve Hillary Clinton's campaign by limiting the number of debates that the Democratic candidates are having. So again, if you're a Trump supporter, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do this to Donald Trump as well.